Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor, back in the Great Delving of Moria, and we are gonna infiltrate this goblin camp. We have some quests here. Gazatmur is it called. So let us start right away. So I gotta defeat some goblins, destroy some food stores. Nothing too major. So instead, let us take this chance to advance our deeds. Of course, this guy was going to interrupt me. Well, it's not a big deal, actually. We're making good progress with our class dates. I hope we will be able to complete them all by the time we get the last gambit associated with it. So that way we would only need to worry about one of those. We'll see, we'll see. For the time being, doing pretty good in here. Alright, so we have some marks of the White Hand. Let us take the quest. This goblin shield bears a mark of the White Hand, a strange thing to find in Moria, or perhaps not strange. Surely a servant of the White Hand is nearby, responsible for stirring up evil in Gazatmur. If that servant is taken out, perhaps the goblin presence will be dispelled in the Great Delving. We have just defeated that lieutenant. That happens to us all the time. Yeah, at this point I'm just grinding the class dates. Yeah, hoping to hit the daily limit as fast as possible. Here we have the lieutenant again. Damn. And it figures. Every time we have critical strike on cooldown, Board Rush will trigger the daze. That's not fair. Alright. We have all the food stores. And all the goblins too. Let us just grind this as much as possible. And now go back to Wickfast. Let us talk to him.
The time has come to drive forth the orcs from our kingdom.
Well done, Beriathan. That was a key step in dismantling their presence here. Now they will have to look elsewhere for food. Awesome. We have leveled up to 53. And we have a new class trade point.
May Durin return soon to his halls.
That was a good start, Beriathan. I thank you for your assistance in making this hole safer for our expedition.
These halls will be great once more.
White Hand Mark and an enemy orc leading it all. That is strange news, and I am not sure what to make of it, but it sounded like an altogether disagreeable affair. I am glad you put a stop to it, Beriathan.
Abide here a moment and speak with me.
Now that we have weakened the defenses of the goblin camp below, we may soon be in a position to launch a full assault against them. Go down there and see if you cannot defeat a few of the goblins' overseers. With the strongest goblins out of the way, the weaker ones will be unable to unite against us. Much depends upon your success, Beriathan. Be careful.
We have little time to speak. Great events have been set in motion.
The goblins of Gazatmur have stationed archers upon those platforms. Anyone who tries to attack them directly will be slaughtered. They will make the road perilous for those trying to move through the Great Delving. The platforms are of typical goblin make from what I've seen. Clever idea, but shoddy. There is a major pin at the base of the shaft that holds the platforms up. Pop that out with one or two good whacks of your trusty hammer and the whole thing comes right down. Oh yeah. Last episode that I saw this platform, I seem to remember that was a quest associated with that one, so I'm glad to see I was not wrong. Alright. Now we have the last overseer in here. Oh no, not the last overseer, the second one right here. So there is... the last one is indeed here. This was really simple, really. Now let us return to Wickfast yet again. Didn't work.
The shadow of Mordor will not long fill the halls of Khazad-dûm.
Your courage knows no bounds, Beriathan. We are nearly ready to strike at their camp.
These halls will be great once more.
Good work, Beriathan. They will put those platforms back up sooner or later, but in the meantime our forest against the goblins will be a little more successful without all those arrows raining down upon us.
We have seen naught of Durin's bane. Be wary if you journey into Moria.
The strangest thing happened when you were away this last time, Beriathan. I heard a very long echo and it sounded rather like a dwarf shout. The sound came from the northeast of here. Will you go explore? I should like to head back to the Dolven-view. Alright, so before we explore that, let us equip some of the items that we just got. So, these leggings. Oh, we'll lose a lot of physical mastery, really. The extra agility doesn't make up for it. But maybe we can. It is. Yeah, I think this strikes a good balance. We got a purple dye recipe. What else do we have here? Seems that's it. On this necklace. Yeah. Let's equip that necklace. I don't think we are. We need moral that much. Now we need to get into the camp again so that we can turn north. Falgeirr's papers. Katûb-zahar. I think there is a quest. Is that the beginning of the quest of the riddles in Moria, or is there a vector to Katûb-zahar? Let me check the location in here for the quest. This area matches Wigfast's description. What do we need to investigate? Here, a rucksack and a dropped journal. This rucksack may indicate the source of the strange echo heard by Wigfast. It appears to have once been owned by a dwarf, but the dwarf is nowhere to be found. Your strong suspicion is that he fell right through the perilous crack in the path, but that was he doing so far from any established hubs in Moria. Okay, so gotta do this then. The journal indicates that there should be an old waterway running beneath the bridge north of here, through the Dwarf Lord's Gate. It should be providing water to the Dolven-view, but it appears to have been closed. There should be a pair of levers on the bridge that can be thrown to open the old waterway, and the fallen dwarf seemed to want to do this very task. You should take over in his stead. This journal page describes a hope to reach the old libraries of Khazad-dûm, known as Katûb-zahar. The dwarf who owned this book was seeking an old text within which is rumored to detail the ancient methods of blending mithril with other metals, along with many other secrets of its proper forging. It seems a worthy search. You should continue the fallen dwarf's quest. Alright, so that is what would take us to Katûb-zahar. Let us open the water levels. Oh god. Nothing seems to happen. Okay. Now let us look for the ancient tome, which is... Fortunately, it's not that far away. These papers are full of runes you do not recognize translated into the common tongue. It means nothing to you, but the strange runes are of some interest, for they do not look to be any language that you recognize. The papers are signed Falgeirr Twisttongue. Alright, so it seems... Jesus, what was that? Wanna fight me? Not afraid of you. So it seems only sage lockers are on the second floor, rather. On the ancient tome. But now that we're here, let us grab. Let's grab all these lockers. I don't get it. Is it? Okay, it's right here. Alright, let us grab our milestone to the Dolven-view. Still injured. You can do it. Walk. Alright.
Dark things dwell now in Moria.
Hammer and tongs! This paper must date back to the time of Durin's rule. A very promising find, Beriathan. Falgeirr Twisttongue was a famous riddle master and thinker of words. These runes are utterly foreign to me, so I believe they may be a special language he made up. You should hang on to these papers in case you see any of these runes in Moria. I have a feeling old Falgeirr left some puzzles to be solved.
I'm not sure Gazatmur can be restored.
You found a journal on the road with the objective of recovering this book? Amazing, but alas, the years and the foul vermin infesting Gazatmur have been most unkind. So many pages are ruined. No matter, with enough time, I'm sure I can piece it back together, even if it takes me years.
Durin's folk will defy Durin's bane!
The journal of a fallen dwarf pointed you to the levers of the Dolven-view water sources. How strange. What a brave dwarf, and you were very good for making the effort on his behalf, whoever he was. It will be some time before we can spare a team of craftsmen to go down there and try to repair them. How sad that one should fall while pursuing a fruitless endeavor.
I am not sure Khazad-dûm can be restored. The orcs have surely ruined it.
You have had some strange encounters, to be sure. White hands and uruks and goblins and rucksacks and deep rifts. Better you than me, Beriathan. Well, I am glad you've made it back safe and sound. Take your rest here at the Dolven-view, where the light is bright and the fire warm.
I doubt that Lord Balin still lives.
Beriathan, I would like to know more about why the water systems of the Great Delvin are not operational. I do not relish the idea of our expedition needing to rely upon imported water. There is a cooling chamber not far from here, and perhaps we should investigate it. I am not unfamiliar with such systems, so I believe it will be useful in trying to get the system working again.
We can only hope that Durin's Bane sleeps deeply.
Interested in taking a look at the true mines of Moria now, are you? I can't blame you, for tales speak of their wonder and beauty. What I wouldn't give to have gone with the dwarves who went to the Silvertine Lodes, but I have a job here, and I mean to do it. Take the south path from the Dolven-view and you will find yourself at the deep descent in no time. It is really quite close. You might be able to help the dwarves there quite as much as you helped us. Well, let us go to the cooling chamber first. Are you ready to leave? I don't know what is going on inside the cooling chamber, but I know we must move quickly if we wish to find out.
Above the great forges of Khazad-dûm lies a chamber that was used to cool the rising steam and return it as water to the pools of Moria. What purpose could goblins have within the walls of that ancient chamber?
What do you want?
Ah, so here we are. What a marvelously constructed place this is. But I fear there are enemies all around us. I will do my best to help you clear them out. Alright, so let us begin, Slagvi. Come here. That's right. Okay, so more soldiers in here. Perfect, that is awesome. It did work, Slayer. All right. We need to defeat 100 works in Moria. There's something that I wonder though. Do the work riders also count for the Goblin Slayer or do they not? I'm not sure. Let me check that. They do count towards both. That's great. Come here. Oh no, we already have the horn. dazed. Come on. Let's see if we can ambush this guy. Oh, wrong gambit. Another one. We have the Moria chieftain. He's quite strong, it seems. The chieftain has fallen and the remaining goblins scatter in terror. The cooling chamber is safe for now. Where's Garlic? Seems he didn't came here. Oh well, this cooling chamber looks really cool, you could say, but it's pun not intended. So let us use this. Fix the jammed lever. Alright, so here all that we need to repair. The rusted gear. The stock wheel. Perfect.
Well met.
You did very well, my friend. Thank you for your help. I would not have been able to face so many goblins alone. Alright. So the cooling chamber has been repaired. Just need to make our way to the exit now. Who knows, maybe we can find some extra goblins in here to do our class deeds on. But it seems no. No, all the goblins were scattered when the goblin leader was defeated, so... Just a quick walk here. Alright, there you are, girlie. Where were you? Didn't see you there.
It is said that Durin's Bane dwells here, though we have not seen it.
Thank you for your assistance, Beriathan. I would not have been able to restore those systems by myself with so many goblins at hand. You have done much for the Dolven-view camp, but I believe we are ready to fend for ourselves. The deep descent awaits you. Yep. Let us take... No, let us take the globes, better. Now we have some infused garnets that we can take to the dwarves in here. The mithril slaves.
You have come at a most fortuitous time.
Alright, that titled Goblin Piercer would be very helpful on the initial stages in Moria.
You have come at a most fortuitous time.
We can get some relics, so let's do both.
Come and stay a moment, friend.
If you are seeking to enhance the abilities of your weapon, there is one place where you are sure to lay the foundation for such a quality. There is an old mithril mine, played out long ago, but within it was a fine forge with mighty spells laid upon it for the smelting of mithril ore. Of course, now the orcs have it and have set their own goblin brethren to work as slaves, trying to eke out a few last sorry bits of the poorest quality ore. I doubt they know anything about the forge itself, or caring the least, but you will have to fight your way through them if you want to make use of it. Before you dare the mine, however, you should bring me an infused garnet. Only with such a stone will you succeed in enhancing your weapon. I do not know where to find such stone, however.
At your service, and your families.
Aha, you were able to get your hands upon an infused garnet. It will take me some time to prepare the stone. When you are ready to leave for the mine, let me know, and I will return the stone to you. If you are ready to go, I'm sure the orcs are as ready as they are likely to be. If you are lucky, they will be too busy digging and yelling at each other to notice you wandering through, but it will take quite a lot of luck, I'm afraid. Now, don't forget, you may need a small bit of that mithril ore yourself if you are going to infuse that garnet properly, so you may need to borrow a bit from the orcs along the way if there is any to be had.
Dwarves are not alone in their search for mithril. Orcs and goblins toil within the barren mines, seeking some small vein of Moria silver to use against the free peoples, or at least to keep it from them.
You need Orc Slayer, alright, perfect. Alright, so I need to go. Okay, so it seems the only mobs that carry the mithril ore are these goblin slaves. So we'll need to find more of them before we continue. Alright, we're missing one of those slaves. We'll need to go back and look for more. What a shame. Like, can I get that guy from here? If I switch to assailment, no, he's not in line of sight, of course. Alright, so back up. Alright, so we can leave the instance. Now that we have an empowered garnet. Orcs in Moria, 11 of 100. Okay.
Well met, friend.
Oh there, I see you are still in one piece. Excellent, and what's more, you have empowered the garnet. Well done indeed. Let's have the stone, and we will see if we cannot bestow the quality you seek. Oh yeah, I think we can take Goblin Piercer. So let us do this other one, the Ghost Forge.
Oh, let's stay a moment, friend.
Oh god, but that is for level 57. Can I do that? The training
I
hall.
would be grateful for your assistance.
This seems more like it. A well-organized band of orcs has recently overrun the hole containing the anvil you seek. If you are to reach the anvil, you will have a difficult fight on your hands. I can tell you I can tell you how to reach the hole, but such a journey would be useless until you bring me an infused garnet. Without such a stone, you will not be able to bestow the quality you seek to place upon your weapon. When you find such a stone, I will prepare it for you and tell you how to reach the ancient hole.
Greetings, traveler.
Ah, you have found an infused garnet at last. Now you will need to bring that to the old armory, but first I must prepare it. When you are ready to depart for the armory, speak with me again. If my scouts are correct, it seems that a particularly brutal Uruk has brought his forces up from the deeper mines and overrun the hole containing the anvil you seek. It will be no simple task to rout them from their work, but the sooner the better, for they are preparing an assault against us as we speak. Are you ready to face the orcs? If so, then you should be off. Time is wasting.
Many armories and forges of the Dwarves lie dormant in Khazad-dûm, awaiting the hands of their masters. One such has been claimed by the orcs of Moria for a training hall. If the forge is to see service again, the orcs must be driven forth.
Okay, so before we begin, let us apply the title for a sword. And let us see if we can increase light damage and DPS. Now you will see the what I like about this title when goblins are close by. Well, at least that was the case before, but when goblins are close by, should light up blue. Hope I'm right. But it seems that was changed. Maybe they changed it to favor the Orcbane aura from the War of Three Peaks pre-order. And I'm not gonna lie, that is a really cool effect, and it's really tempting to be able to have that effect on every single weapon that you have. But I'm not sure if that alone justifies the extra price for War of Three Peaks. These instances are usually not too long, and really fun to do, I believe. And most of all, they can usually give you your garnets back. So you can run this a lot of times. Just by doing that. The mobs in here have a chance of dropping the garnets, so yeah, you have a good chance of being able to do this again and again. Why? Is this guy immune? Alright, well, in any case, he's down now. Kinda weird. We got a new javelin. Gotta take that one. In here, a new garnet. Some scholar items. I really like these instances where it's a closed space, but that means when you are done, it's just a short walk back to the entrance. I really like that kind of design. And now, let us turn in the quest.
I am at your service.
So you have returned. Ah, and I see you have brought an empowered garnet. Then you were successful. Let us see if that stone will suffice for the quality you desire. Now, here with the Forge Master. Okay, let us deconstruct the relics that we got. We got a lot. That's great. And where is the Forge Master? Here.
The Lords of Moria have returned! The House of Durin will live forever!
Force Rush critical rating. Now let us apply this debuff. Okay. Now let us... Alright, I cannot equip that javelin I just got until I reach level 54. That's a shame. In any case, let us make our way to the deep descent, which is south through this opening. We have discovered the Stone Council. The deep descent is not that far from here. We did the Silvertine Lodes. We have Deep Descent, Gamilphilic, Menenberg, and the old Silvertine city.
The time has come to drive forth the orcs from our kingdom.
What do we have in here? Okay. Sorry, I have a really big cold. Yes. In any case, here we are.
The Lords of Moria have returned!
Welcome to the Deep Descent, Beriathan. We miners have great hopes for the Silvertine Lodes. Are you here to look for ways to be of use? Never fret, there is more to be done here than we can handle.
The day of the Dwarves is coming!
I am glad you have come to the Deep Descent, Beriathan. A warden such as you should be able to help my people with many of the tasks that need doing here among the Silvertine Lodes. We are particularly plagued by the goblins of Gamilphilic.
Oh, glorious day! We shall soon restore Moria!
If you're looking for tasks, we have plenty of them, Beriathan. The most pressing issue is probably that of our closest neighbors. Philin, one of our miners, has sent back reports of a great goblin settlement too near here, unfortunately. The name of the place is Gamilphilic, and you can find Stilling there making an assessment of the threat. Head south from the deep descent and then take the east path at the crossroads and you should find Stilling there.
We have seen naught of Durin's Bane. Be wary if you journey into Moria.
A moment of your time, if you would, friend. When first we entered this place, we had no intention of pushing as far as we did so quickly. Now that we have breached this far down into the depths and we see the horror of what transpired here, there are some discoveries that make many of us uncomfortable. It is bad enough to know that there are orcs and goblins all about, but to think that they have breached some of our most hallowed and secret holds gives one reason to hoist a hammer and crack some goblin skulls. Still, we have orders and we must abide them, lest we endanger everything we attempt here. My friends Garthar and Hafberg are concerned about some discoveries we've been seeing as of late. Crystals, dull and black looking, more like glass than crystals, have been turning up here and there, and we do not know what this signifies. Speak with my friend Garthar if you would, and see what he knows. But that is for a fellowship instance that we cannot yet do, but having the quest is good nonetheless. Aye, these crystals bear the mark of the great dwarf treasury long forgotten beneath this place. Mithril may well have been the true wealth of Moria, but it was not the only wealth when you hear. There were many riches to be harvested from these mines. Anything that was not mithril was taken to treasuries throughout Moria, and there is stored for safekeeping. Complex puzzles guarded the treasure therein, and now they are well hidden by the ingenuity of the dwarves. I also know that one of our treasuries was recently breached by enemies. Our orders bid us to stay here, surely for our own safety, but I have a good mind to disobey. Alas, I have no more news to share, but feel free to tell Falgeirr all that I have said.
The shadow of Mordor will not long fill the halls of Khazad-dûm.
Garthar thinks that the vault is breached, does he? Well then, that makes the decision more obvious if you ask me. Are you still looking for a bit of work?
We have little time to speak. Great events have been set in motion.
If you are to enter the vault of the Forgotten Treasury, we must prepare you for what you are to face. It is located to the south and east of here, though more southerly than east. Between our halt and your destination there are many orcs. These orcs are likely a smaller, stupider breed than the ones you will encounter inside the treasury, for it would take cunning enemies to enter such a protected place. It would do you well to hunt the lesser orcs for a short while. This will give me time to prepare you for the adventure. Head southeast and south of here and collect a bundle of scraps from these orcs. Then return to me when you have enough.
If we drive the orcs from Khazad-dûm, will it be enough?
This will be my head for sure. I was not supposed to send Flick out with any tasks, but he kept begging me. His father is leading one of the eastern parties of the expedition. If he knew I let his son go out there and he never came back, they would probably throw me down one of these fissures here. I will never be heard from again, unless of course you could find him. You would be saving my beard if you managed it.
If we drive the orcs from Khazad-dûm, will it be enough?
You may wonder why we have come to this vast deep Beriathan and scattered to the wind as we did. The Silvertine Lodes are famous for being the first and primary source of true silver, or mithril as it is called by many. A large branch of miners have gathered for an expedition to search the Silvertine from head to toe, starting at the toes in its roots here. We have not had much chance to mine yet, as we are beset by dangers and missing dwarves and other mishaps. Would you care to do the honors of mining ore in the vicinity of the deep descent? Alright. We have plenty of tasks to do here in the Silvertine Lodes. Join me next time where we will begin our exploration of the area and do all these quests. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below. And for the time being, stay safe and take care, my friends. Good luck to you all. And I will see you on the next one.